This should be a very important game tonight. Brenzel again makes a nice cut to the outside.
You can talk about second and third effort.
To the pylon, touchdown, Charlestown. Great catch in front of the goal line.
That was a perfect throw. The sophomore quarterback
makes a great cut up the field. That's Gonzalez with the carry. Bounces to the outside, to the back of the end zone. What a catch by Ryan Wynn. Hello, everybody. Welcome to O'Brien High School in Roxbury for a matchup between two Boston rivals as tonight. The Tech Boston Bears will be taking on the O'Brien Tigers. Hello, everybody. I'm Pat Flaherty, joined by my partner, as always, Alan Platt. And Alan, we got two teams coming off of wins. O'Brien now 2-0. We saw them their first week, and then they had another nice win last week against Charlestown. Meanwhile, Tech Boston starts off 0-2, but had a big win late in the fourth quarter against Carver last week to pick up their first win of the season. So this could be a big turning point for both these teams sort of midway through this fall football year.
Most definitely. As a matter of fact, like you say, anytime the high school team comes off a win from the previous week, they're always looking up. Right. And for the most part, most of our games, you think about it, it's usually like a split. One team lost, one team won.
Sure.
This time, you're definitely looking at an O'Brien team feels very good about itself. And as a matter of fact, for some people, they probably have surprised with their success these first couple of weeks. So we'll see if they can continue it here. This is their favorite field, so they love the turf, and they have that speed to go with it.
No question. Meanwhile, for the Tech Boston Bears coming in at 1-2, one of the reasons they won last week was their quarterback, Julius Gillard. Just a sophomore, but a very productive offensive player.
Well, he's the key. As a young player, sophomores, a lot of times head coaches don't know exactly what to expect. But like you said, he was the key in last week's victory. He wants to obviously piggyback on that and make it 2 in a row. O'Brien's smart team. They're known for their offense, but they also use some of those skill guys on their defense to make a very quick, responding, reacting type defense. So nice challenge, nice matchup here today. Tech Boston, with their success in basketball with the championships, has that school pride that they want to live up to. Meanwhile, O'Brien, they've been under Kevin Gatson, 12 years as head coach. They've been over the years good, especially on the offensive end.
No question. For that offense, the engine that has been driving that offense is Curlin's Ginty, their running back. We saw him week 1. He had 4 touchdowns. He's our spotlight player tonight. He picked that back up last week with 2 more touchdowns. He's had a very good start to the year.
It's amazing. You talk about the month of September for Ginty. I mean, he's going to remember this for a long time. And like you said, we had him the first week, did a really good job. Inside runner, outside runner. I was surprised at his speed. I mean, he showed the kind of strength in between the tackles that you knew, okay, he's a nice bruising runner. He pops one play out to the sideline, was just zipped up the line. So he's one of those players that obviously any team that watches this, the play exactly what I'm talking about. Any team that defends against him, he's the #1 target. You've got to probably have a linebacker on him no matter where he goes, maybe even a cornerback, someone quick enough to stay with him. But Ginty, potentially, he's going to have a huge year. Might be one of the best running backs in the city.
No question. We've seen him. This will now be our second game seeing him, and they're going to feed him the football a lot. He's really the only varsity experienced running back coming into the season for O'Brien. He'll probably have a couple more backs mix it up a little bit, but he's going to be the main guy for the Tigers.
That's exactly why some people think the Tigers are off to a sort of a surprising start. Right. Obviously a positive start, 2-0, but somewhat surprising because young players, you just never know from week to week.
That's right, and we'll see if they can build their depth throughout the season as well. Now, for more on this game, we're going to go to our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky, who's down on the field. Seth, what do you have?
Thanks, guys. Despite losing 2,000 yards and 22 touchdowns in Marcus Gonzalez, the 2018 Boston City League Player of the Year, head coach Raul Brown of Tech Boston thinks his team is maybe even more dangerous this year in that they have so many weapons in so many different positions. It all starts with the wide receivers. Well, Raul Brown thinks that he has the best group 1 through 4 in the entire city. The only issue is the first couple of weeks this team didn't have enough confidence in themselves as a whole. Last week in their first victory, they not only were a little bit better conditioned to finish 4 quarters of football, but they finally began to believe, and that's what Raul Brown hopes will continue in another big matchup, this time as they begin in city play. Guys, take it away.
Thanks very much, Seth. And Tech Boston now playing some of the City League teams they're now in position where they can kind of figure out where they can be in the standings. Right now, English in the Boston South is at the top at the moment. Tech Boston, if they win tonight, will be right there.
Right in the fix, yeah.
Right in the mix, and that's
right.
where Tech Boston wants to be.
Oh, definitely. They've had 3 games. They had come in at 1 and 2, but you got, like you just said, they play with Georgetown, obviously out of city, and they play Carver. Okay, they lost a tough one to Latin Academy.
That's right.
All right, 2-point game, but this is still, we're not even midway yet. So they can make up some ground with a win tonight. It's going to be tough, though, because O'Brien get that offense going. Well, we'll see whether the offense can lean toward the victory or does the defense take over.
Yeah, and once again, the Tigers will be going with 2 quarterbacks. We saw that in week 1. They did it again last week. Michael Brooks will be starting tonight, and Luke Maffei will be getting in there as well. So that's another wrinkle in the O'Brien Tigers offense that they always like to have. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have the opening kickoff here from O'Brien High School in Roxbury right after these messages. Don't go away.
Foster safety. Foster hope. Foster joy. Foster curiosity. Foster support. Become a foster parent, because every parent makes a difference. Foster, Massachusetts.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck.
So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
First time I tried Vicodin, it was laying around my mom's house. And then I kept taking them whenever I could get them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Welcome back to O'Brien High School in Roxbury for Game of the Week as the Tech Boston Bears visit the O'Brien Tigers. Tech Boston in the white jerseys with the black trim here as the away team this afternoon. Meanwhile, O'Brien in the blue jerseys with the black pants and white trim. Home team here for the Tigers. They're just about set to go. Tigers won the toss. They elected to kick. So Tech Boston will start off the game with the football.
Not really surprising. O'Brien likes to get the ball to start the second half. I'm looking forward to this game, Pat, because I've heard some nice things about Julius Gillard. 5'5" sophomore, and you know the Kyler Murray is that's the thing in college and pro football now.
Ball fielded right around the 20-yard line, and good return here for Tech Boston up to about the 28, as that's Henderson on the return for the Bears.
Keon Henderson.
17-yard return for Henderson. Starters for the Bears, it's Gillard, Dells, and Joseph in the backfield. Meanwhile, Jackson and Henderson are the wideouts. Tech Boston has 2 other wideouts as well that they like to use. 4 wide receivers that Coach Brown trusts out there. So Tech Boston, that's really their strength on the offensive skill set side, is the wide receivers this season. Usually it's the running backs for the Bears.
Well, again, you change up depending on the kind of athletes you have coming out, and this year it just happens they can use a spread offense with a lot of receivers.
They go with a 3-receiver set at the bottom of your screen, one to the top. And on first down, Gillard going deep down the right side of the field as he was looking for a Kadeem Dare, but the ball falls incomplete. So Bears taking a shot, first play of the game.
They want to start out with a bang, huh? But again, perfect day. Little winds. Once we come here to Madison Park, a lot of times it's a lot of wind to take away some of the long passing, but not the case today. The sun is going to be an issue more than anything else. Early start at a late afternoon kickoff, so the sun is still bright for those receivers looking back for the football.
You see Gillard, The starter for the first time this season as a sophomore, played really well in 7-on-7 back in the spring and summer. So he was pretty much the starter from the get-go when camp got going.
Good job, get the ball back.
Now it's a rugby scrum right around the 30-yard line, and they mark Tech Boston down at the 32. Take another look at it.
Watch it. He had a little trouble with the ball. Bounce, good bounce actually for Tech Boston. Came back, one of the linemen able to pick it up. Actually gained about 3 yards. Went from a potentially disastrous turnover to a short gain.
Rivaldo Jean picking up the fumble and picking up a couple of yards for Tech Boston, so it'll be 3rd and 7 now for the Bears. Gillard gonna tuck it in and run. Here comes Julius Gillard, showing off the wheels past the 40, past the 45. What a move to the outside by Gillard. Picks up a block by Esau Jackson. And Gillard is down at the 14-yard line. Now you know why Coach Brown is excited about this guy.
Everybody's excited about him. We said a sophomore, watch this movement. He's looking downfield, gets good pressure, decides to run. Once he tucks it in, it's all about quickness, moves, and speed. Gets a beautiful block right there. And the last man, last safety, finally pulls him down. Even has the same number 1 like Murray, right?
That's right. He's got the hand warmers in the back there too.
Yeah, supposedly the number 1 makes you a little taller. But you see that speed.
I don't know if it's making him look any taller, but it's definitely making him look faster.
I'd say it needs to be any taller.
On first down, he's going to take it again. Nice little move there from Gillard, who's then wrapped up at the 10-yard line. So picks up 5 on the play.
You know, Pat, like you said in the open, we're getting close to midway part in the season, and some of these head coaches still trying to figure out exactly what they have. And it may have taken that Georgetown game was a loss for Tech Boston to start the season. It may have taken them some time to sort of show some confidence in some of these younger players. But there's no doubt they found their quarterback in this sophomore.
He had 2 rushing touchdowns last week, along with a passing touchdown. That was the go-ahead touchdown for Tech Boston in the 4th quarter. The handoff this time over the right side to Dells, who picks up a couple there on 2nd down.
The idea is to try to spread out, use some misdirection. That was a straight handoff to the single back in the backfield with Gillard.
So it'll be 3rd and about 2 for Tech Boston.
And so now for O'Brien, they have to decide, are we going to blitz to take away these running lanes, or are we going to play it safe to keep Gillard under control? Oh, get some movement.
Yeah, I think that was Esau Jackson, who was lined up as the 2nd receiver there for the Bears. Going to back them up 5.
We have encroachment on the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty, first down.
So turn of events there as Tech Boston will pick up the first down as it's a encroachment by the defense.
Well, you know, that's the first time that we could actually hear Gillard's signal. So he yelled it out, threw off the defenders, and one of them came up across the line and made contact. Big play, gives them a 1st and goal.
So 1st and goal for Tech Boston now at the 4-yard line. It's Gillard that's going to take it himself, trying to get to the outside. He's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Might have lost yards.
Going for loss. Good job stringing that play out. The linebackers for O'Brien forced him all the way to the sideline. Like you said, he actually did lose a little bit of yardage. See, no place to cut back in. Tries right there, nothing. Tries again, nothing. Gets wrapped up.
Yeah, linebacker Omi Grell coming in for the stop, that time for O'Brien.
Like we said in the open, see, O'Brien doesn't have an overly huge defensive unit, but they rely on their quickness, mainly the linebackers and the defensive backs. Those are the guys who come up to make most of the tackles.
So 2nd and goal now for the Bears, now at the 7-yard line. Gillard going to tuck it in and run again. Gillard to the outside, walks in for a touchdown.
Glide. Just like he's very deceiving because he's going forward the whole time. It doesn't seem like he's even going that fast. As soon as he sees the gap right there, he decides. He knows, I got this.
7-play, 71-yard drive for Tech Boston, highlighted by a 53-yard run. Here's another look at the touchdown.
See, watch, gives it a second. It's quarterback draw, looks like. He never even brought the ball back. So, design play to give him the chance to get into the end zone.
2 rushing touchdowns last week. He's got one here in the first quarter. Tech Boston now looking for the 2-point conversion. 2 backs in the backfield. They fake the handoff. It's Gillard. I think that was a forward pass. Either way, it worked for a 2-point conversion as he hooks up with number 9, Jaquan Joseph, one of his running backs in the backfield.
Well, again, not as smooth as you want it, but as he got that contact, it ended up being a forward pass, so there's a pass for the 2-point conversion. So as expected, Tech Boston off to the kind of start that they think they need to have because they know they're facing a very high-powered O'Brien offense. So Tech Boston Bears wanted to score first, and thanks to Gillard, he puts them on the board.
Our sideline reporter Seth Orensky's got an update for us. Seth, what do you have down there?
Thanks, guys. Quick injury update. Michael Brooks, the starting quarterback for O'Brien, went down on the second play of the game. A bloody nose. He's still treating on that, so it'll be Luke Maffeo, who was the starting quarterback last year to begin this season, who will be the quarterback to begin this first drive for O'Brien. Guys?
Thanks very much, Seth.
Nice
so we'll
catch.
see Maffeo right away. As here's a good return by Jaden Smith for the Tigers. He makes his way up to the 41-yard line after receiving that line drive kick.
Smith did a good job, first of all, just to catch it. It was a line drive. A lot of times they hit the turf and have those crazy bounces. But what Seth was saying about the quarterback, that's just ironic because when we saw Bryant the first week, they pulled out that 2-quarterback system.
Well, it'll be Maffeo to start instead of Brooks with that late injury right before their first offensive possession. Then you got Ginty, the dangerous running back. Grell will get some carries as well. Then you got Jaden Smith, the playmaker, on the outside, and Foster bringing some size at the wide receiver position for the Tigers. So there you see Luke Maffeo.
Just got to hope that Brooks, with that bloody nose, doesn't have a broken nose, but that'd probably keep him out for the rest of the game.
On first down from the 41-yard line. They go with the reverse to Jaden Smith. He's got some room towards the middle of the field, makes his way up to the 48-yard line of Tech Boston. So a good play on first down for the Tigers.
A little trickery on their first down. Both teams going deep into the playbook. Yeah, just see Smith, another one of their good skill players, speed and quickness.
Now on first down, it's Ginty with the carry as he rumbles up to the 46-yard line.
Yeah, that'll be the first of many for him. I mean, you talked about the start, Pat. Okay, O'Brien. It seems like they started like a week later than everybody else, but at least, well, maybe they were on track. But their 2-0 has been impressive because they've used both quarterbacks so effectively.
Second down and 7 now. It's Ginty again with the carry. Tried to bounce it to the outside, but he's wrapped up at the 45-yard line, so about a 1-yard gain on the play.
Yeah, that's a good example of a player who's being keyed on. You had a linebacker and one of the defensive backs both going for it to where as soon as you get the handoff. Watch the right of your screen. You'll see white shirts coming across. There's 11, 7. Yeah, both those guys were there. They'll be following him wherever he goes.
It'll be 3rd and 5 now for the Tigers. Need to get to the 39 for first down. They run the reverse on the other side. And good job of staying home by
good
Tech
job.
Boston.
Wow. That was a nice play. That's a nice play.
Giovanni Noel, the sophomore linebacker, coming up and making the stop.
You talk about sophomores, and that play, Noel's out on the islands. He's going to make a one-on-one play against a big and sort of a elusive player, but give Noel all the credit. Perfectly. Like what you say, form tackle, right?
That's right.
It usually takes until halftime to say that, right? Here we are in the first quarter.
That was Antoine Foster on the reverse, but nowhere to go with it. Michael Brooks now back in as the up back on the punt team. We might see him on their next possession. End over end punt. It's fielded right around the 15-yard line. Here's Montero looking to get to the outside. Another sophomore that shows off a lot of speed for this Tech Boston team as he is marked down right around the 37-yard line.
Good hands, too. A lot of players will let that bounce looking into the sun. You see him tuck it in, get the ball outside arm. Nice return.
Isaiah missed the first 2 weeks of training camp for Tech Boston, so this is really their first game for him to get any type of action. We saw a nice return. Here's another look at it.
So the key is he made a really nice catch on that, even though he had some coverage guys bearing down on him.
33-yard punt, 21-yard return for Montero. Now Tech Boston, 1st and 10 at the 37. Gillard again going down the field, this time to Montero on the right side.
And interference.
Ball was underthrown, but they're going to call interference.
Looked like Montero might have turned the wrong way, actually, because he was being led toward the sideline, and he seems to have come toward the middle. So he tried to twist around. There was some contact when he tried to twist.
If they can get that connection going over the next couple of years, that's going to be nice. Two sophomores
I was just
going
to say, they got plenty of time to work on it. What's that, 2 more off seasons to work together?
15-yard penalty. That'll give the Bears the football at the 49-yard line of O'Brien. Make that the 48-yard line. So 2 big penalties so far for O'Brien have put Tech Boston in good positions. Gillard with a quick throw over the right side, and Henderson spins out of 1 tackle. Tries to get out of another. He's going to possibly pick up a yard there on 1st down, and did a lot of work to get that 1 yard.
Well, but the key to the play is that it's making O'Brien defensively think about that wide receiver screen. As you have a Tech Boston Bears team, they're just trying to spread out that defense to open up some lanes in the middle. You got a quarterback who can run the way he can. Any kind of gap he can get, he'll take advantage of. It's funny how trends go in football. Short quarterbacks for years were never even given a chance.
That's right.
Now it's like it's all turned around.
And you got your Kyler Murrays, your Russell Wilsons, your Drew Breeses. All those guys are helping out the little guys in that department. Here comes Gillard. Spins out of a tackle and then drops the football. Good recovery for Tech Boston as he saw Jackson. He's able to pick it back up for the Bears.
Save the play for them. Again, this is one of the things. As a sophomore, you get into a crowd when you're spinning around. Different angles of hits are coming, so you got to be able to tuck that in. Be mindful of getting that ball right to your body.
Esau Jackson was the one who recovered the fumble. He actually played quarterback for Tech Boston towards the end of last year.
Yeah, he was
handing off to Marcus Gonzalez a lot. So he had the best seat in the house watching Marcus pick up 2,000 yards a year ago.
Yeah, Gonzalez was really fun to watch last year. Last couple of years, actually.
3rd and 2 now for Tech Boston. They need to get to the 38-yard line for a first. The handoff over the right side to Jaquan Joseph.
Good job, wow.
Another good tackle at the line of scrimmage.
That's one of the few times that the initial hit actually made the tackle.
Asamidi Izabazua coming up and making that hit.
That's Bazua, right? Okay. Left to your screen, you see him. There's the hit, drive. So it's going to be a 4th down. I'm surprised at this, but at least they're going to go into punch formation to see if they have something up their sleeve.
And Montero with those bright green gloves back to kick.
Can't miss him. Neon Montero, huh?
If he keeps getting good returns, he'll get that Neon nickname.
There's
the fake there to Esau Jackson, and he's going to be close, but
second
he gets to the 35 for the first down.
Second effort.
He didn't have it initially.
He was stopped 2 yards short. Watch, he stopped right at the line there. Spun once, spun again, then got some help from some of his teammates. It was funny, Pat, years ago, aging myself here, that used to be a penalty to have linemen push a running back or a ball carrier. But I forget when they took it out, but you see it a lot now.
I don't think it was that long ago. I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago they took that out of high school football.
Because it definitely used to be a penalty. Now you see it on all levels.
That's right. On first down, Gillard over the left side. He's got Jackson with that quick throw. Jackson picks up 3 on the play.
I think that's the first time he's throwing the ball to the left. Actually threw a little behind Jackson. You want to throw it so he has momentum going toward the line of scrimmage, but as a sophomore, he'll learn that.
They mark him down at the 31-yard line, so it's a 4-yard pickup on first down. Second down and 6 now for the Tigers. Gillard looking for an opening, now cuts it back up the middle of the field. Gillard back in the open field.
Oh, he got it.
Inside
Montero.
the 20, it's going to be a block in the back.
Right in front of us, too, Pat. Both of us saw it.
Yep.
And Montero looked like he had his hands out there for the block, and he tried to pull him back, but he did make some contact. So, the easy call was made.
Block in the back on number 3 of the offense. 10-yard penalty, repeat second down.
Montero's back in that huddle apologizing because he didn't need it. You'll be able to see it as he comes back to us. Number 3.
There it is right there.
They just saw it. That was that little bit of a little bit of a push. And, of course, the crazy thing is Gillard was already past it.
That's right.
didn't even need the help.
Here's another look at it down on the field cam.
But when you have a runner like that who changes direction and give you so many angles, a lot of times your momentum is already into the block, but the defender turns around. Brian's got to think of something different defensively.
Second and 6 now for the Tech Boston Bears. Gillard again back to throw. Again, he's going to tuck it in and run. He's got the whole right side. Picks up that first down.
Actually, Brooks is back in. That's good to see for O'Brien. Brooks does play both ways. He plays quarterback and linebacker. He actually came on a blitz, number 12 on that play. Couldn't get to the quick Gillard, and there he goes. I sure hope we're pronouncing his name right, because he's going to have the ball.
That's right.
Just about every play.
We double-checked at the start of down on the field. Seth helped us out. It is Julius Gillard.
Okay.
If that's not right, we're going to blame Coach Brown, because that's what he told us is the pronunciation of his name.
Okay, with that 53 yards in his first carry, he's already up to 85 yards from the quarterback position from that shotgun alignment.
Green hat, red hat, oops. Red shirt, blue shirt, yellow shirt, oops. Yellow pants, red pants, green pants, oops.
Welcome back to O'Brien High School in Roxbury for Game of the Week as the Tech Boston Bears are currently on top of the O'Brien Tigers 8-0 here at O'Brien High. And we're just about ready to start the second quarter here on Game of the Week.
Just wonder if now that Brooks is back in on defense, wonder if he'll go back to playing some quarterback on offense. I had a chance to talk to Kevin Gatson, the head coach, after the game that we did when O'Brien got their first win. And he said that he has that two quarterback system. They're both talented players. He thinks Brooks is a little bit more of a threat as a runner. And so that particular game that we did, he wanted to, feature the running from the quarterback position. That's why Brooks played so much.
Just trying to get the game clock set here at O'Brien High. Another point that Coach Gadsden made, too, was that they can put Luke Maffeo in at tight end, H-back, and move him around. And then when Maffeo's in that quarterback, Brooks can go in as a receiver.
He can go as a slot guy. We saw him actually play slot and wide receiver.
First and 10 now for Tech Boston. Gillard lofting one up top.
Oh, nice
and it's
catch.
Caught for a touchdown.
Beautiful pass and catch.
Kadeem Dare going up and getting that one. Nice loft on the throw from Gillard.
That was the key. Put a lot of air under it, giving Kadeem a chance to use his height. And also, you see a little bit of a jump to beat the defender to the ball. There's a jump right there. Actually, it was decent coverage.
Yeah, Gillard just put it in a good spot there.
Well, we know about his running, but that was a pinpoint pass there. Watch this. He puts a lot of air under it. So Kadeem times it right, knows the defender can get his hand up, so he jumps to get the ball first.
So that touchdown puts Tech Boston on top, 14-0. Bears now looking for the two-point conversion. Gillard now reversing field.
All the way back to the 25.
Looking for a receiver, and he's going to be wrapped up in the backfield. Nice tackle from Omi Grell.
That was some angry pursuit there. O'Brien does not like being down 2 scores. As we see, finally wrapping him up. But I don't know. To me, it's a bit of a surprise. I mean, not necessarily that Tech Boston scored twice, but that O'Brien has struggled so much. They have not been able to do anything offensively. It makes you wonder if Brooks is going to get a shot back at quarterback for them.
8-play, 61-yard drive there for Tech Boston. Capitalizing with a touchdown to Kadeem Dare from Julius Gillard. Nice boot there for Tech Boston as the ball's fielded right around the 13-yard line. Here comes Foster. Running through tackles. Foster to the outside is dragged down at the 43. Brought down by Bradley Francois, but a nice job on the return there for Antoine Foster.
Those are the kind of plays that can spark your offense. Like you said, Pat, watch them just run right through those arm tackles, pick up the speed, and finally get wrapped up.
They mark him down at the 44.
So a total of 33 yards. See, that's that drill where you run through your teammates.
So this could be the spark that O'Brien needed. Luke Maffeo back in at quarterback. Brooks is running around on the sideline, so he might get in on their next series. Maffeo is certainly no slouch either. Very good pocket passer for the Tigers. Maffeo back to throw over the middle, goes to Smith, but a pass is broken up. Nice job by Antoine Dells.
Defense was made easier because for some reason they had 2 receivers in the same spot. Like you said, good knockdown. Again, a lot of these players play both ways, so they're out there and Maffeo trying to lead his receiver, but because there's so much congestion in the area. Like I said, I think that O'Brien looks at Maffeo as a slightly better passer.
This time they hand it off to Gene T. Curlin's nowhere to go with it. You mentioned the Tech Boston defense keying in on Gene T.
Oh, no doubt.
Coach
no doubt.
Brown mentioned he's going to probably try to put a spy on him.
Got you. It probably changes too. Most teams, when they're trying to spy a tailback like that, they'll use a linebacker, and if he's not quick enough, they'll switch over to a defensive back. There's been so much gang tackling from Tech Boston. It's hard to say. It's hard to see who it is right now.
Ooh. High snap there for the Tigers. Maffeo just going to jump on it and secure it safely. And now, with that botched snap, wow. Tigers going to have to punt.
Tough break for O'Brien again. Just not in sync today for some reason.
Last week against Charlestown, as O'Brien ended up winning by a couple of touchdowns, but Charlestown actually came down the field, and Terrell McQueenie, who we saw last year, scored a touchdown first, and then O'Brien came back, scored 3 touchdowns in the second quarter. So got it to a slightly slow start last week, and then had a huge second quarter because we know their offense can score in a hurry. So far, we haven't seen much of a spark out of their offense in this first half.
Yeah, they opened it up near the end.
Sort of a knuckleball kick that's going to roll down the sideline and go out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Pat, key defensive series coming up for O'Brien. They've got to figure something out to slow down, obviously, the quarterback a lot, but also his weapons. I mean, he's run for 1 touchdown, thrown for the second one. So they're totally in sync. Meanwhile, O'Brien's got to sort of change this momentum. But they got to start on defense.
Last week against Charlestown in that second quarter, they got an interception from Izabazua, and that was what led to their first touchdown in the second quarter.
Any kind of play can help with these emotional high school players turn the game around. Defense, special teams, doesn't matter.
On first down, it's Gillard. That time it's deflected. Getting in there. Once again, Omi Grell, who's had a very good first half.
Well, they're sending him. You know, Grill is interesting player. He's only 5'8", but he's 200 pounds. So a little bit of a fire plug. That time he was able to get in, like you said, deflect the ball. Because, again, they're trying to go deep down the sideline. Say this Tech Boston team is not bashful at all about putting the ball up.
Second down and 10 now for Tech Boston after the incomplete pass. Here with about 2 minutes gone by in the second quarter. This time they hand it off up the middle to Joseph, and Jaquan wrapped up in the backfield, 2-yard loss on the play.
Tell you, see, Tech Boston said they had 4 wide receivers, spread formation, but it didn't make a difference. O'Brien just ignored it. They're ready. As soon as the handoff was made, had some contact. Yeah, you gotta like what O'Brien's doing defensively, is they're trying to just stay with their regular defense, even though usually a running quarterback like that makes you mix things up a little bit.
3rd and 12 now for Tech Boston. They got to get to the 47-yard line for a first down. Gillard looking for Joseph on the screen, but the pass was a little too far out in front of him.
Joseph's upset because he actually stopped to get himself open, but the pass was leading him as if he was going to keep running. See, Joseph's already stopped because he knows he's open. So he's like, well, just throw it right to my number 9. Don't lead me. Just throw it right to my shirt.
Right. Coach Brown, after that incomplete pass, looked right at Joseph and said, "Yep, you stop running." Montero with a spiraling kick. It takes a good bounce inside the 30 and inside the 20-yard line down to about the 15. And now they're going to mark it down right around the 20, I believe.
under pressure. Good job to get the ball off. See, Brooks was in there applying some pressure for the possible block.
Ended up being a 58-yard punt from Montero.
Oh, yeah, at least 20 of it was that long bounce. But again, day like today, it's dry, beautiful. Like I said, not much wind.
Also, nice crowd on hand. Then you see the O'Brien band. Good to see them out here as well. Maffeo back in for the Tigers.
No, I think he's in because they want to have a passing offense.
I'm sorry, Brooks is in there at quarterback.
Brooks
however,
changed him.
So
Yeah,
Maffeo,
Brooks at 12. Yeah, 12. Yeah, Maffeo's 2.
Maffeo now lined up in the slot in that 3-receiver formation. That's Jaden Smith at the bottom of your screen. They hand it off to Ginty on first down. Makes a good little cut inside and picks up about 5 there up to the 25.
Most high school teams like to use the wide side of the field. This time they went to the short side, trying to catch the defense leaning the other way. But Ginty doing a good job finishing off what looked to be a short game, turned into about 5 yards. Again, 3 receivers to the left.
Hand off to Ginty again. Ginty runs out a couple more tacklers. And gets up close to the first down. And I believe he got it.
He runs hard all the time. He ran right through that first tackle and takes 3 of the Bears to get him down, but yeah, he got hit behind. I guess his knee was down earlier, so it's going to be 3rd, about 4. Yeah, his knee was down right there. Okay. Again, trip receiver to the left for Brooks.
So 3rd and 4 now for the Tigers. They flip it over to Foster, who cuts back to the outside, and now Tigers pick up the first down.
Both these teams like these wide receiver screens. I mean, they have the skilled players. Again, you see, as soon as you get it, he knows he has to get 5 yards for the first down.
Makes his way up to the 32. About 7 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Once again, Tigers in that spread formation. Hand it off to Ginty again. Cuts it back up the middle, past the 40, up to the 43-yard line. The late flag on the play.
I'm not sure if something was said on the sideline. Yep, something was said. Unsportsmanlike conduct. They don't need this.
We have a sideline warning against O'Brien. That's their first warning of the game.
Just a warning.
Yeah, okay. Well, usually in the warning, they don't throw the flag, but you see 14-0. Well, I mean, it's some frustration on the O'Brien sideline. They're simply not used to being down 2 scores, and they're not used to not scoring by this time in the first half.
Yeah, you see it, Coach. A couple of the coaches from O'Brien jumped right out on the field. I mean, the play was over.
Yeah, surprised that the flag was actually thrown. Well, they're still jarring with the linesman over there, so the flag might come up for real in a second. Whose coach was that? Can't tell if that's Branch or...
Coach Branch is all the way at the end there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
Coach Branch, very animated and intense defensive coordinator. Very good coach for this O'Brien team. On first down, it's Brooks trying to tuck it in and run, but he's wrapped up just after the line of scrimmage, so.
Not much there. I'll tell you, in the open, I was talking about how the O'Brien defense used a lot of quickness. We're seeing the exact same thing from the Tech Boston Bears. Watch how they're penetrating across. They got a hand on Brooks at the line of scrimmage before he can get any kind of momentum. It's just one of those things where we talked about the O'Brien and Blue being off to a good start. Some of the young players really playing well. And they're just not used to being scoreless this deep into the first half.
This time it's Smith in motion.
Get some motion there. Yeah. Offside on. See the long count, that extra.
Encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Yeah, the extra count threw the Bears off. They've been guessing. Apparently, we've seen Brooks use the same cadence repeatedly. So that time, he used 1 extra second, threw the Bears off, and got them an easy 5 yards.
Second and 5 now for the Tigers. They hand off to Ginty again. This time he gets drilled at the line of scrimmage.
That was, I'm not going to call that a form tackle. That's Rivaldo, that's Gene, right?
Yeah, Rivaldo Gene.
I'm just going to call that a mean tackle. When you defeat the blocker in front of you, it's only going to happen a few times a game, if that. Then you have a really good chance one-on-one because you're there as soon as the ball's handed off. So the running back doesn't even have a chance to get a step or any kind of momentum going forward. You got 3rd and long now.
Yeah, 3rd and 7 for O'Brien. Trips at the bottom of your screen. Brooks slips it over to Smith. He's got some room. Jaden Smith trying to make a play. And he's going to be very close to a first down.
I think it's close enough to go for it. See what Kevin Gatson decides to do. No, it is first down. Okay, all right. I'm with you, Pat. I thought he stepped out of bounds.
I thought it was real close.
Yeah.
Put it right on the 47. We got it by about a yard.
Oh, this is what O'Brien has to have. They have to have a good drive. Obviously, we want to score before halftime.
Now on first down. Once again, it's Ginty in the backfield. They pitch it over to Curlins, and he's got nowhere to go with it. That's Giovanni Noel again in on the tackle.
So this defensive unit for Tech Boston doing a really good job. And again, the point you made in the open is true. This is a city game, so you have scouts. You're able to have some scouting to know what to expect from O'Brien, as opposed to, you have Tech Boston playing outside the city for the early season, and now you see a little more familiarity.
They try to run the reverse with Smith. He drops the football, then picks it right back up. Smith to the edge. Jaden Smith down the sideline. He's going to go in for a score.
Talk about a fumble helping you, right? People joke about it. Sometimes a fumble, a bobble can throw the timing off of the defenders, and Smith he actually was helped by the 2 safeties taking a really poor angle trying to get to him. Watch the left of your screen. You'll see the safeties just took a terrible angle. And his speed was enough to get him down the sideline.
An 11-yard rushing touchdown last week along with a receiving touchdown. Here you get another look at Smith taking off down the sideline.
You get all kinds of camera angles so you can see. But they all show the same thing. Show some speed from Smith, right? Doesn't matter how you look at it.
Now on the 2-point conversion, they hand off to Ginty. Initially stopped. Did he get in?
He
yes,
did.
He did.
Wow.
Good effort from Curlins Ginty.
He was stopped at the 3, hopped, and then took a dive into the end zone. So that makes it interesting. Now we got the O'Brien offense alive. So right there is hit. Watch this dive. A little hop there. They actually had his right leg, so he hopped on his left leg to get that last thrust for a dive into the end zone.
Nice tough run there from Curlins Ginty. So finally, Tigers get on the scoreboard. Folks, if you want to follow us on social media, you can certainly go to our Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/GameOfTheWeekBoston. A lot of good stuff up there. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can go to our Twitter handle, go to @BostonCityTV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW.
I'll tell you, this
7-play, 54-yard drive there for the Tigers.
Kevin Gatson is in full form right now. He's up and down the sideline, trying to really fire his team up for the last couple minutes of this half.
Keon Henderson fields it at the 5 for Tech Boston. And picks up what he can as he's dropped at the 19-yard line. So scoring a 2-point conversion for the Tigers. They're now down just 6, and then just came up with a good coverage tackle there on the kickoff.
They get the ball, hit you in the face mask, and then just try to get what you can. So let's see now. Let's see if Coach Branch does do anything different defensively against Gillard.
Here comes that sophomore quarterback back in. He's got a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown here in the first half.
That passing touchdown was really impressive because he threw it into double coverage, but got it to his teammate.
3:16 left to go here in the second quarter. Will Tech Boston put up another score, or the Tigers going to come up with a stop? Now on first down, it's Gillard tucking it in and running again. Gillard still in the open field as he's wrapped up at the 36-yard line.
It might be a face mask. See, a player like Gillard, you just got to grab at anything because he's so slippery.
Gillard already surpassing the 100-yard rushing mark. This might be coming back, though.
No, they got. No, you're right. One official thought it was a face mask, but now.
We had a minor face mask foul on the offense. It's a 5-yard foul, first down.
Huh.
So they do pick up the first down, but it's a 5-yard
don't
penalty.
See that called that much.
So it must have been on Gillard.
Let's see now. He tried a stiff arm, maybe.
Yeah. He grabs the face mask. That's a good call.
He tried the stiff arm and grabbed the mask.
So after the 5-yard deduction, 97 rushing yards now for Marcus Gillard. First and 10 for the Bears from their own 30-yard line. The handoff up the middle. This time Jaquan Joseph with a little bit of daylight as he plows forward up to the 40.
Wow. That's exactly what that was. He was hit at the 35 and ended up over the 40-yard line for a first down. I always wonder about these early afternoon games on a school day. Literally, these kids are playing, an hour or so after classes. And got double-header here, today, obviously. But the early one, you don't know if it's an advantage or a disadvantage.
Yeah, some kids are just kind of ready to go right after school. Others need that time to get ready. Dell's getting the carry on first down and spins out of a tackle that would have been a loss, picks up 2.
Well, we saw the Bears get off to a really good start in the first quarter with that 2-touchdown lead. And now, clearly, that score and conversion by O'Brien, that 8 points, is really juiced up their defense. We're going to have a timeout for the Bears. Some kind of confusion with the play call. Gotta be safe because you don't want to make any mistakes while you're still in your own territory.
The Bears done it both on the ground and through the air. 49 yards passing in the first half for Tech Boston. Meanwhile, 119 rushing yards.
Almost half of those on that one run by Gillard early in the first quarter. Well, if you look at, we talked about how these are 2 city schools, obviously, so key part of the season for Tech Boston. Like we said, they started out on the road. They lost to Georgetown 26-8. Lost to Latin Academy, that two-point game, 16-14. But like you said, the win at Carver on the road, out of league, but 22-21, and here we are today at O'Brien. So from Tech Boston's stand, they clearly can use this game as a springboard for the rest of the season. And I think that may have something to do. You talk about emotion, you talk about being ready. That may have something to do with why they jumped out so quick in that first quarter. Talking about O'Brien, we did the 28-12 win over Boston Latin. And then they, like I said, beat Charlestown last week, 34-14.
2nd and 9 now for Tech Boston out of the timeout. High formation for them as they hand it off over the left side, and that's Dells finally with some room. He runs hard past midfield up to the 49-yard line of O'Brien.
So that's a really good combination of running styles. Dell's second man through does a good job to stiff arm, twist. It's like all these runners for Tech Boston like to spin and twist. Coach Branch on the sideline looks like he's trying to adjust his defenders' positions.
Handoff over the left side again to Dells, and that might be coming back because I don't think Dells.
The wide receiver
stopped.
didn't. Well, not only that the wide. It's either that or the wide receiver didn't come up to the line of scrimmage. He didn't cover the tackle.
I think they were trying to do either a shift.
Yeah, it definitely was a shift because they had
they
Dells
didn't
in motion,
come to a
but
complete
They have an
stop.
illegal formation on the offense.
See,
it's a
you saw-
5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Yeah, Jackson didn't come all the way up to the line of scrimmage once his teammate went in motion.
Second down and
Yeah,
15.
still should be first.
I'm sorry,
Right.
first down
Yeah.
and 15 for Tech Boston.
All right, so Brian's going to take a timeout.
And Brooks just came off the
Yeah.
field again. I wonder if he got that nosebleed going one more time. It's so the air's very dry here, so sometimes that nosebleed can happen in this type of weather.
He's over there talking. You got it right. He's up there with the towel to his nose.
1st and 15 for Tech Boston. Nowhere to go with it for Dells as he picks up about 3 on the play.
O'Brien may want to take a timeout here to try to get the ball back before halftime. Got like 30 seconds on the clock anyway. The official time's on the field, but if they can stop this 2nd and 3rd down, force a punt, they have the skill guys to have a long play.
I'm still trying to figure out who called the timeout because I didn't see it signaled out on the field, and I'm wondering.
Well,
the clock's all over the place right now. I don't think that is the correct time.
Yeah,
We'll keep an eye on it. The refs are keeping the official time down on the field.
Now O'Brien does take a timeout, so I'm not sure if it's because Brooks came out. For some reason, there was a couple of the coaches on O'Brien's sideline were talking to each other about timeout, not timeout, then they finally decided to take it. Brooks is we talked about him being a quarterback, one of the 2 quarterbacks, but he's also a linebacker. We've seen him blitz a couple of times in the first quarter. So he seems to be a sort of an integral part of their. Matter of fact, he played mostly defense last year. That's right. So
that's right.
If they were going to have any type of special coverage or possibly a blitz, it would be Brooks. With him out of the game, his replacement maybe not quite as ready.
There's Brooks down on the sideline, still working on that bloody nose.
I think he needs some new tissue.
It's such a pain because you got to just kind of almost wait for it to stop.
Exactly.
And plug it up, and then
you don't have control.
And you're not injured. But you can't be out there at the same time. It's Frustrating situation, I'm sure, for him.
People always ask, okay, how do you get a bloody nose with a face mask? Well, happens a lot.
Sure.
Sometimes hands get underneath the face mask.
Right.
Sometimes they get in over the face mask. Sometimes the snap comes off, and then
Right.
all of a sudden, the helmet is your enemy. Your own helmet.
3rd and 12 now for Tech Boston. Right around midfield. Gillard. Again, going to tuck it in and run, and he's got the sideline. Did he get to the marker?
Yep, he dove.
Very close.
Got the first down.
And he got the first down.
So now you have Tech Boston wants a timeout because they want to try to get back in the end zone. It's an amazing weapon when you have a quarterback that quick. You're talking about 12 yards for a first down. He easily gets 13 or 14. No, I'm sorry. They called him down short. I thought he dove over the 40-yard line.
I thought he got it as well.
Yeah. Wow, it's going to be 4th and 1. Yeah, that was deceiving. So, 21 seconds on the clock anyway. And back to punt. Montero, who did a good job last time, under some pressure. And we got some confusion on the coverage on the return team, so Bryant's forced to use another timeout. We had a player on the sideline, wasn't sure if he should go out there or not, so use the timeout so you get the ball back.
I wonder if that was Brooks' replacement on the punt return. That was confused. Now, if you're Coach Brown, you are at the 40-yard line. I mean, do you take a chance offensively?
I'm surprised he's not. I mean, he has
with Gillard.
Well, not just Gillard. All of his runners have been running hard.
Yeah, his actual running backs have been running good between the tackles.
But sometimes you just want to be. Well, Gillard's come back out.
Yeah, Tech Boston's going to get back in there and run a play.
Yeah. Or they might just try to
draw
them offside. Oh, he's back in the shotgun, so.
Fakes the handoff. Gillard with a shot down the left side. And it was knocked out of the hands of Montero once again. Montero actually had his man beat.
He did have him beat. You're right. I tell you, Gillard, for a little guy, has a decent arm. He's able to sort of flip it out there. You see, Montero did have the corner beat. Safety came over. Ball was slightly underthrown. Gave the safety a chance to come over and clog the whole thing up. So a chance for a couple of plays for O'Brien before halftime. Let's see which quarterback to go with.
Looks like Maffeo's going to be going back in there. Brooks has got his helmet back on.
Yeah, got his helmet on, but he's
coaches might want him to just go in at halftime.
Going at halftime, lay down, put head back,
thing,
put the ice pack on his nose. Yeah.
Tigers also getting the ball first to start the third quarter. We don't know if that 15 seconds left on the clock is the accurate time, but it is late here in the second quarter. Tigers with the ball at their own 40-yard line, and they hand off to Ginty on first down.
Yeah, they're willing to go into the. Well, they call a timeout.
So that
they're going to put a pass up.
That time on the clock might be pretty close if they're going to call one that quickly.
Over the years, we've seen Kevin Gatson with a lot of offensive trick plays. Reverses, inside screens, and he has the athletes with the speed, just simply flat out fly pattern.
See Coach Gatson in his 12th season with O'Brien as the head coach. Smith, the man in motion, and the handoff to Ginty. And again, he's got nowhere to go. They're really keying on him here this afternoon.
Regardless, like you said, even though we're winding down the half and you'd think they would pass the ball, that's going to be the half. Yeah.
So that'll do it for the first half here at O'Brien High School as the Tech Boston Bears lead the O'Brien Tigers 14-8. And Tech Boston coming out like gangbusters with the first 2 possessions of the ball game, scoring touchdowns thanks to Julius Gillard, the sophomore quarterback, 1 through the air, 1 on the ground for Gillard. Very impressive first half for him offensively. And O'Brien kind of sluggish to start that first half, especially in the first quarter there, but that big play from Jaden Smith, the rushing touchdown, seemed to fire them up a little bit.
Oh, definitely. And they're back in the game. But like we said, good to see a Tech Boston team be able to come in here at O'Brien and get that good start. I mean, it's football is just so much emotion, and when you're talking about younger players, a lot of sophomores on that Tech Boston starting lineup, including the quarterback. If he can get out to a good start, that 53-yarder did wonders for that sideline.
That's right.
The offense, the defense, the entire sideline.
Coaches, too.
I was going to say, as long as they know he's capable, because they see him in practice every day. So when he broke off that 53-yard run, that just seemed to lift everybody up on the Tech Boston side.
Meanwhile, on the other side for Tech Boston, Coach Brown has the lead, and he is down on the field with our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky. Seth, take it away.
Joined by Tech Boston head coach Raul Brown. Coach, let's start with your sophomore quarterback, Julius Gillard. Obviously, he's had a lot of success running the ball and throwing the ball. How have you liked his decision-making? Because that's been the biggest question the first couple weeks.
I think his decision-making has been good. I just think some plays we need to work on, some mistakes that he made that didn't go too well, but we fixed them on the sideline.
Defensively, it seems like you're really controlling the trenches. It's when they get out wide, they have a little bit more success. How do you kind of change the game plan to maybe slow them down out wide?
Well, I think defensively we'll be okay. I feel like there was a missed call for holding, but it is what it is. Our strength is our middle of the defense. So if they figure it out, then they figure it out. If they don't figure it out, we'll be successful.
Finally, you had that chance late where you brought the punt team out, they called the timeout, you went with the offense. What kind of went into that decision, and what does that say about your trust in your quarterback?
Well, I feel like when you have the best player or the better team, you play to win. I'm not playing this game to lose the ball game, so we're going to play to win.
Coach, thanks so much for your time. Good luck in the second half. Guys, take it away.
Seth, thanks very much. And Coach Brown coming in here. That win last week, it did wonders for this team because you can tell they're not afraid. I mean, if they were 0-3 coming in against a very good 2-0 O'Brien team, it probably would be a different story right now.
Yeah, football, and we say it every year, it's very true on all levels, high school, college, football, Pop Warner. I mean, there's so much emotion in it because it's a physical game, and every play you've got to bring some kind of physicality to it. If you're emotionally down, you just don't have that same energy. But like you said, the win last week has allowed them to come in here with some confidence. They clearly have one of the best athletes in the entire city in the quarterback. And so anytime you have a running quarterback who can break a play from anywhere on the field, that's a major, major advantage.
No question. We saw that there in the first half. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have our halftime stats and some highlights of the first half, probably of number 1 from Tech Boston. We'll be right back after these words. Don't go away.
Foster safety. Foster hope. Foster joy. Foster curiosity. Foster support. Become a foster parent. Because every parent makes a difference. Foster, Massachusetts.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
You go and step out of the vehicle for me?
See ya, buddy. Good luck.
So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
First time I tried Vicodin, it was laying around my mom's house. And then I kept taking them whenever I could get them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Do you want to retire like a champ? Just like legendary basketball star Uncle Drew?
Don't do it like that, Uncle Drew!
You're already acing the game. You've got your dream ride.
Don't be slamming my door.
Sorry about that.
You just did the same.
Gotta get the boys. Your dream vacation and your dream team. And now you can make your retirement just as legendary.
I get buckets.
Get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Queen is just my everything.
His smile did it. His smile, his eyes, his knowledge. My landlord, he decided that he wanted me to move based on the fact that I was transgender. Let's just respect people in everyday life for just being human.
Welcome back to O'Brien High School in Roxbury. We're at halftime here on Game of the Week. The Tech Boston Bears lead the O'Brien Tigers 14-8. And certainly a very impressive first half there for Tech Boston as they put up 14 quick points. Let's take a look at the halftime stats here at O'Brien High. And first up, I think it's going to be the O'Brien Tigers.
There you go. So Brian Smith with 57 yards, 2 carries, and touchdown. And Ginty, we thought we'd see him a lot, 11 carries, but only 33 yards, clearly being keyed on by either 1 or 2 players. Receiving, Smith had 1 8 yards, and Fisher 1 for 7 yards. Overall, Brooks quarterbacking 2 for 2 for those 15 yards. I think we're going to see a lot more passing for O'Brien in the second half.
Let's take a look at the Tech Boston halftime stats.
Tech Boston a little more impressive as you see Gallard, that running quarterback, 13 carries, 110 yards, and the 1 touchdown. Dell's 22 yards, 5 carries. You have Dare with 1 catch, the touchdown catch, nice play. And then Montero, who almost had a touchdown but did have a nice 15-yard completion on his only catch. And Gallard overall 5 for 9, 47 yards, 1 touchdown. So it's been exciting in different ways because you have it's like a coaching chess match. As you see Gallard, you see some opening, just sort of gliding. Like I say, my first time seeing him, it's just that he's going faster than it even seems. This is the 53-yarder to set up that first touchdown for them. Here's another one. He's able to stumble, but always going forward. Doesn't waste any time. This one was a touchdown play to start the game as he was able to avoid the tacklers. And then on the 2-point conversion, he was able to get the ball to his teammate. There's Gallard again. I mean, some of this running ability you just can't teach. You can't coach it, you can't teach it. It's either there or it's not. Special player. And during the break, you said something really important. As he gets older, he's only a sophomore. As he gets older, his hands will get bigger to control the football a lot more to help his passing. On that play, he was actually called for a face mask penalty, but this is the best pass of the game for the first half as he lofted it over 2 defenders into double coverage, but still got the touchdown.
Yeah, a really nice pass in the back of the end zone for the second touchdown there for Gillard. But they're only up 6. You know, as good as Gillard has played in the first half and as Tech Boston has played, a couple of their running backs got into the mix as well.
Oh, Brian's going to come back.
Well.
No doubt about that.
Brian's down by 6 points. They're going to get the ball to start the third quarter.
I'm surprised we can't hear Kevin Gatson from here. Believe me, I've known Kevin for years, and he loves this kind of halftime. He has so much to yell about, okay? To fire his team up. You got a very frustrated Jinty. Right. All right, one of the top running backs in the city. Like I said, he had 4 touchdowns.
Week 1.
Yeah.
6 total.
So it's like give me the ball. Now that it's a 1-score game, you can go back to him and let him try to control that line of scrimmage. Meanwhile, the other locker room, you have Tech Boston head coach, very calm, talking to at halftime, because he's got to be happy with the fact that not only is he ahead, but he's held that O'Brien high-powered offense down the entire first 2 quarters.
That's right.
I mean, the second half should be a lot of fun.
No question. Now, also interesting that Coach Brown said we're here to win. So if they have another chance, it's a 4th and 1 or any type of situation like that, we're probably going to see them do the same thing.
I was shocked when they brought the punt team out in the first place. You got
That's right.
Gillard, you got the other 2 backs, both of them who've shown second and third effort on every single carry. You got a 4th and 1. I mean, it was, close to midfield, but still, it's not especially the way the defense is playing, it's not a huge gamble. I think that Kevin Gatson, if they're able to get the ball first, O'Brien does, if they're able to tie the game up right away on this first drive, then things change a bit from his perspective, because then they'll feel much more comfortable with their kind of game. I'll be interested to see how Tech Boston responds if, in fact, O'Brien does take this first possession and score in the third quarter.
No question. We'll see how it goes. It looks like they're just about set to kick off here to start the third quarter here at O'Brien High. And
should have brought our sunglasses, huh?
My goodness. It's like being at the beach.
I tell you, early afternoon.
The other thing, too, about this field is that there's not a lot of shade. So you see, even though it's later in the day, the field is still very much in the sunlight.
All sunlit, yes, all bright. You see the Bryant sideline. I think it's too late for the sunscreen.
We got long sleeves on anyway.
Well, O'Brien, and they live off big plays, so I won't be surprised to see whoever's in their quarterback really get the ball in the air downfield. Actually, we haven't seen a screen pass to Jinty yet. We did see that in the first game when they beat Blatton. He was able to get a couple of screen passes, right.
Tech Boston kicking off. Another nice boot here from the Bears. It's fielded at the 15-yard line by Foster again. Had a good return in the first half as Foster not able to escape that tackler completely, but he does bring it up to about the 40-yard line.
You said one leg away. Unfortunately, the injured Tiger shaken up on the play.
Can't see who it is at the moment.
One of the coaches and the trainer going out to see him. Special teams. We have a lot of collisions.
That's Smith.
Wow.
That's Jaden Smith. That would be a big loss.
Exactly. That's one of the better speedy receivers.
This is going to take a little time as they take a look at Jaden down on the field. Folks, next week we're going to be over at Boston English High School as the English Eagles host the Charlestown Townies next Friday, October 4th at 6 p.m. over at English High in Jamaica Plain. You can tune in live on Boston City TV, Comcast Channel 24, RCN Channel 13, Verizon Channel 1962. You can also watch it on YouTube on Boston City TV's live YouTube stream. So Smith now walking off the field under his own power.
Hoping there was just a wind knocked out of him. It doesn't seem to be holding or favoring anything.
He did look a little woozy coming off the field. You wonder if that's going to be something where he's got to be tested for a concussion.
I think it sort of depends on the type of hit it was. Yeah, he is. You're right. You got it right. That's the first. The eye test is the first thing they do.
So 1st and 10 for the Tigers, right around the 41-yard line. It's Brooks back at quarterback. They throw the screen to Ginty, like you mentioned, Alan. Ginty tripped up right around the 47, down at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, like I said, I was really surprised that we didn't see it in the first half. I mean, that's try to get him out in some space, give him some running room. And in the game we did up against Boston Latin, he did that really effectively. That was the sideline screen. They also have an inside screen that they run to the middle. You see Brooks, nice soft pass, give him a chance to get upfield. So.
Brooks now 3 for 3 through the air. Most of them those short, either screen passes or wide receiver screens. Very accurate so far. They hand it off to Ginty here on second down. And
good job. Wow, came across.
All over him once again.
I tell you, that's give that credit. Linebacker came across Stockwell, Walter Stockwell, came across in good shape. I'm not sure if he was blocked or unblocked. No, he was blocked, but he shed the blocker. He grabbed Ginty's jersey before some help came. Took away some of that gain, and this Stockwell shaking up himself after he made the play.
Yeah, he got up,
there a
and it
pile
looked like
up?
he was okay, and then I don't know if he tripped over. Sometimes you get up after a tackle, you get all excited, and then you feel dizzy.
Yeah, he's up.
Take a look at it.
Oh, he's his favoring his right knee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you get up and something doesn't feel right. That's too bad. Too bad. That's the age-old argument about football, Pat. It all, especially young players. Is it too violent? Is it too physical?
You know, is it worth playing on the high school and youth level?
You got states, counties now thinking, implementing no tackle football until certain ages. And it's like I said, it's an age-old debate. Historians take you all way back to President Teddy Roosevelt outlawed it temporarily.
Yeah, I think certainly concussions have played a huge part in that concern, which it should be a concern. Football across the board, across the country, has done a lot to try to do a good job with concussion safety, concussion protocol. It's, back even when I was playing in the early 2000s, it was like, well, if you hit your head, you go home and you throw up, you have a concussion. Exactly. If you don't, you're fine. And now it's
throw some water on your head.
Right. Ice your face.
There you go.
And you'll be all right. Now you have to really get looked at by a physician, by a doctor. It's so much better now than it was even 10 years ago. Brooks on the quarterback keeper, looking for the sticks.
Okay. Yeah,
get a late flag. It's probably going to be a late hit.
O'Brien giving Tech Boston some of their own medicine with the quarterback keeper. That was the designs run by Brooks. Like we said early in the open, Brooks considered a slightly better runner than Maffeo.
Blocking the back on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Well, from the spot of the penalties, it's you see Brooks. Let's see if we can find something on the. Oh, yeah, Brooks was getting ready to go out of bounds, and his teammate bad judgment on that one.
It'll be a 10-yard penalty. 3rd and 11 now for O'Brien.
Definite passing down. You can go back to the screen. I mean, Ginty's the guy, and so you just got to get the ball in his hands. I mean,
you got to get him out in space somehow.
Exactly. They have plenty of different ways of doing it.
Good to see Jaden Smith back in there for the Tigers.
Oh, well, now that he's back, then in the slot you have something different. Single coverage.
3rd and 11. They run the reverse this time to Foster. And Foster makes his way towards the outside, stays in bounds, gets to midfield. He's going to be about a yard or two short.
Yeah.
from the first down, just a yard short of the first down.
I like the way he tiptoed that sideline to get a little bit of extra yardage. Watch this. He knows at the sideline, a little bit of a tiptoe. Makes it a 4th and 1. You're at midfield. You're down 6.
You got your running quarterback in there.
Early third quarter. You see a nice little reverse play. You got a nice block in front. Did a good job to get to the sideline. He's got some size. 6'2", weighs 190 pounds.
Yeah, he's a load to bring down at that receiver end.
Good movement at that side. So 4th and 1. O'Brien going for it.
They do hand it off to Ginty. He bounces to the outside. Ginty now with some space to the sideline. Ginty cuts it back towards the 20, and that's where he is brought down. His best run of the night.
By far. Simple handoff. Sees some room on that right side. Is able to break the line of scrimmage and into the secondary. Now, like you say, he's tough to bring down once he has some space like that. So that 20-yard carry gives O'Brien a first down.
So big momentum shift there to O'Brien. Down 6. Now on the Tech Boston 20-yard line. On their opening possession, the 30-yard line, rather.
Yeah. This is why a lot of teams like to defer even when they win the opening coin flip, so they guarantee getting the football first in the third quarter.
On first down, they give it to Ginty again. Bottled up. He picks up a yard.
That's more of what we were seeing in the first half. See right here, he's trying to find a place to cut back. No room. Good job coming up to Esau Jackson to force him back inside. I'll give Ginty at least one play off, let him catch his breath. Staying with those 4 wide receivers, double slot.
Izabazua, the lone back in the backfield next to Brooks. They hand it off to Izabazua, who makes a nice cut himself past the 25 up to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, so he's just the kind of drive O'Brien wants. Izabazua, a little stagger step in the backfield, gives himself a chance to break the side line of scrimmage and nice 7-yard gain.
Third and 3 now for the Tigers.
It's 4-down territory no matter what, so. A little confusion with Izabazua now shifting.
They hand it off to Izabazua over the left side. He tries to escape would-be tacklers, but he's wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. And they're going to mark him down at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I'll come back with Ginty now. Yeah, plenty of options. Screen pass, that pitch play to the sideline. Oh, like you say, even Brooks himself, a decent runner.
No gain on that play for the Tigers. Here's another look at it.
4th and 3. Yeah, just a little indecision because the pursuit took the sideline away. You're forced to come back inside. That's where all the pursuit is. Now you got some one-on-one coverage far side of the field on your big wide receiver.
Yeah, that's Foster at the top of your screen.
Uh-oh. A little too anxious. Too bad. Just give away a first down. Wow.
We have encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
We saw that from the Tigers in the first half, giving Tech Boston a first down to extend a drive. Now we see Tech Boston giving it right back.
Same part of the field, too. You see the defensive end coming across, just couldn't quite get back in time.
So first down for the Tigers, now with the football at the 18-yard line of the Tech Boston Bears. And O'Brien looking to tie this game up here midway through the third quarter. Option play is Brooks going to keep it himself. Michael Brooks.
Yeah, he faked the pitch twice and then stopped for a short gain. You watch him. He has Ginty out there to his right. Fakes that one there. Fakes again. And just decides to try to cut back up.
Just a 1-yard pickup on that play. It'll be 2nd and 9 now for the Tigers from the Tech Boston 17.
Yeah, timeout for O'Brien. Now, a difference, like we talked about Federation rules last week. 3 timeouts per half. Big change from 5 with how it was for years and years and years.
Less timeouts and more time now for each quarter.
But in reality, this is what O'Brien want. This is what O'Brien actually wanted to see. Get a nice drive. They've eaten up a lot of this third quarter already, but they're let's see what they come up with coming out of the timeout. Actually, you know, it's a good timeout in a couple of ways. The offensive linemen, you know, who've been out there for this drive, give them a little bit of a breather. Ginty, who finally was able to break off a decent run, get him back in there. So Ginty's back in their single back offense along with quarterback.
Brooks runs that reverse again with Smith. This time Smith nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Big loss on that play on 2nd down.
You really got to credit this the Tech Boston coaches. With all this movement, you're seeing players not over pursue and not out of position. Now it's going to be like a 3rd and 14.
Third and 15 now from the 23-yard line of Tech Boston. Brooks rolls over to the right, flips it over to Maffeo, who runs hard past the first down marker.
Wow. Talk about a quarterback. You mentioned his versatility. That time, I think he was in the slot that time, as roll out by Brooks. Lofts it over to Maffeo. Good catch, tuck in. See the sideline, nice spin. Use that size of his to force it down. Excellent job down to the 5-yard line. You know, as a quarterback, obviously good hands. Like the way he tucked in and it got upfield.
Now on 1st down, they hand it off to Ginty. Hard run by Curlins up to the goal line.
He's in.
And he's in for a touchdown. Curlins, Ginty ties the game up at 14 apiece.
So Bryant, this is their bread and butter right here. Ginty, we knew he would get a lot of touches here in the 3rd quarter, and like you said, it all goes back to that 20-yard jaunt that he had during this drive. Make his O'Brien teammates feel like, okay, this is normal. Power I formation behind.
Do the bootleg. Flip it over to a wide open Maffeo. Brooks threw it a little too soon.
As soon as he let the ball go, he knew it was bad. Far too much air under it. Watch his touchdown again out from the 5-yard line. Good camera shot here. You see Ginty, how he was able to bowl over that one defender,
Just got that
Jackson.
nose of the football over.
So we got a tie score at 14. As what, almost an 8-minute drive.
The coaching staff Couldn't believe they couldn't connect on that two-point conversion.
It was so wide open.
You see that all the time, though. High school players, because they're younger, they just get so excited when they see a wide-open guy, and it's just happens to the best of them.
Yeah, he literally just could have floated that. Because there was no, Maffeo came all the way across the end zone, so he's just wide open. Just broken coverage in the safety position.
Kickoff fielded at the 14-yard line by Esau Jackson, who hurdles a defender. Jackson fumbles a football. Jackson fumbled it right around the 40-yard line, and I believe O'Brien recovered. And I know Tech Boston recovered.
Tech Boston has it, yeah. Yeah, neither official did. Yeah, I told you, Tech Boston picked it up. Who's that? Kadeem, yeah.
Kadeem Dare with that touchdown earlier with a heads-up play for the Bears. Now Tech Boston back on their heels a little bit. Let's see, you see another look at it.
Good job by a little hurdle there, but as soon as you get to contact, you got to tuck that ball in. So first time, second half with Gillard in football.
And they run it inside with the scissor play. And I believe it was Dells who got the carry that time.
There's not much there.
Might have picked up a yard.
Think about it. This is probably the type of game we could have expected. If both teams are doing what they want to do, especially on the offensive end, and it's not surprising to be, but 14-14 tie here, winding down the third quarter.
You got a quarterback who excels out in open space for Tech Boston. You got a running back who excels out in open space for O'Brien. So you see Dells get another carry as he stopped a yard behind the line of scrimmage. So
no, O'Brien is closing down in between tackles. I mean, they're really. I mean, it's almost as if they're just taking a bit of a chance. They're leaving the middle of the field sort of open, but we're seeing Tech Boston in this running formation. This third and long is going to be something wide. Okay, 3 receivers down in front of us.
They got Dare at the bottom of your screen. Jackson in the slot. Early movement on Tech Boston, but looked like it was initiated by the Tigers. We'll see what the referees decide here.
That's always tough because you have one linesman that may have seen something on the opposite side of the field. Could be the opposite. Everybody's okay. So they're saying you're right.
False
you
start
right,
on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Now it's third and 15.
Yeah, the right guard with some early movement there.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. The fake blitz. Well, it might have been a real blitz. I don't know, but once they started jogging up to the line of scrimmage, the guard came out of his stance. So a much tougher third down now.
Could be a huge momentum shift in O'Brien's favor if they can get a stop here. Gillard down the left sideline, broken up again. Foster able to get his hands in there as Gillard was looking for Montero.
Yeah, Foster used all that 6'2" frame of his to get his hand on that one. Actually, a decent thrown pass, slightly underthrown, but see there you see the number 14 with those long arms. Because Montero actually had a half a step on him, but ball needs to just be a little farther out in front.
Gillard's still having a tough time throwing to his left as he's now 1 for 5 on that side of the offense. Meanwhile, he's 4 for 5 on the right side. Montero, we're lucky that he got that off as it was a low snap to Montero as that one is down right around the 47-yard line.
Good pressure on that one. Is it Vabuba? He's in there along with Brooks. There's Brooks there.
Just a short kick for Tech Boston. So great field position here for the Tigers as they have it at their own 47-yard line, and momentum totally on the side of O'Brien right now.
Oh, definitely. They were able to have that 8-minute drive and get the score tying touchdown. Staying in that shotgun with the one back.
Brooks over to Smith. Smith finds some space, then is dropped at the 47-yard line, making it the 48. So about a 4-yard pickup there on first down for Smith.
Esau Jackson, a little too much air on that one. Smith had to go in the air to catch it. So he had to go up for it, and that sort of threw off his timing to get upfield.
Second and 5 now for the Tigers as Jeanty with the carry. Curlin's Jeanty up to the 45-yard line, so a 3-yard gain on second down.
Again, I think they're just going to keep feeding him. I really do. I think they may pitch or possibly go back to the screen, but he's got to be the guy to handle the ball.
Handed off to Jeanty again, makes another nice cut past the 40, up to the 36-yard line.
Yeah.
Man, we talked about how good Curlin's is out in space. He is running hard today.
He really is. And I think that you see the way he's running, it's as if he knows I'm going to get these carries and then make the most out of every one. He's going to come out for a breather, but I doubt if he'll be out more than one play. You're right, that was a hard run. He actually moved the pile. Listed 5'9", 160. But he does pack a wallop.
So Izabazua back in the backfield with Brooks here on first down. Fake it to him. Brooks now on the bootleg. Brooks down the right sideline, and it's Michael Brooks in for an O'Brien touchdown.
One of the few times in the entire game, Pat, that we saw the Tech Boston Bears over pursue. And they got faked out on the fake handoff to Izabua. And there's the handoff right there. They all over pursued to the right. Gave Brooks the entire side of the field to get into the end zone. Now, we talked about trick plays, and that's exactly what burned the Bears on this one. Okay, so Maffeo now goes in at quarterback, putting Brooks as the tight end.
Feo hands it off over the left side to Jeanty, and he makes his way in for the two-point conversion. So Curlin's Jeanty with make that two-point conversions this afternoon to go along with his touchdown. That one after a Michael Brooks rushing touchdown. Now O'Brien on top by 8 here with just under a minute left to go in the third quarter.
Well, we talked at the halftime break about adjustments, and this is exactly what we've seen. Jeanty, again, one running through arm tackles, earns that 2 points. And we knew Jeanty was going to get the ball a lot second half, and that's been the difference. That and the quarterback play.
So now Tech Boston going to have to respond. Now down by 8. As Kaba there to kick it off. Low line drive kick. Jackson misjudging it. He picks it up right around the goal line. You saw Jackson breaking through. Jackson with a nice cut. Makes his way up to the 31-yard line.
He's an exciting runner.
Made something out of nothing.
That's the third time we've seen him with a decent return. Definitely something out of nothing. He's inside the 5-yard line. Nice little stutter step there. Actually, he was close to reversing this field right in front of us. So give him a total of a 30-yard return. You see this is where the blocking pan is all broken down, so this is all Jackson's ability to run. It's like simply like a jab step in basketball, where you plant, go the other way.
Since the first quarter, it's really been Tech Boston's offense now that's been stuck in neutral. For those first 2 early touchdowns. Gillard over to Montero. Nice cut by him. Montero down the sideline. And he gets forced out of bounds. Past midfield inside O'Brien territory.
We talked about Montero's speed earlier, and finally with a chance to show it off. See that wide receiver screen, that works because he didn't have to stop his momentum. He was able to catch it and then get right into the run down the sideline. And let's not forget, Gillard still the running threat from that passing formation.
Now on first down, man in motion. It's going to be Gillard. Takes off and runs with it. Gillard down the left sideline. And Foster forces him out of bounds.
They found something on the right side of that defense for O'Brien. There you see the long touchdown run by Brooks in the third quarter as we come to the end of the third quarter.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework.
He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to O'Brien High School in Roxbury as we head into the fourth quarter here on Game of the Week as the O'Brien Tigers lead the Tech Boston Bears 22-14. Just about ready to start the fourth quarter. Tech Boston with the football.
A little bit of that sophomore quarterback magic as you had a nice pass by Gillard to his sophomore wide receiver. Then we had Gillard himself on that last run, getting his team inside the O'Brien 30-yard line.
Bears from the 28, it's Gillard again with a pass, this time over to Dare rather. And Kadeem Dare is brought down at the 24-yard line.
Yeah, definitely spreading things out. I think they're doing all of this to set up a quarterback draw. Nice. Good job by Dare to lower that shoulder. As well as Tech Boston started out with that 14-0 lead. 22 unanswered points by O'Brien since then.
On second down,
There's
Gillard
the draw.
tucks it in and
There
runs.
it is.
He's got the first down, still on his feet.
He's got more than that, yeah.
And we got a flag at the end of the play. That might be on Tech Boston.
If it is, that's
a late block.
Exactly, yeah. That'll be a killer because that'll be probably 15 yards. Well, it's from the point that it's by the foul, so it'll still be first down, but it looked like a block out of bounds. And again, the runner was already passed. I mean, it's they're high school players. That's one thing that we can't lose sight of. trying to finish off your assignment, but you, yeah, it's Fisher's trying to get it correct.
Personal foul.
Yep. Blocking the back. Yeah.
So it's a 15-yard foul.
Right. Well, that basically pushed them back. So, what's this Gillard?
Looks like it was Esau Jackson. We'll see him come in here.
Yep, right there. Right of your screen, number 7.
I think it was a block. I think, like you said, Alan, block out of bounds.
That's why.
Because he hit him on the side.
Yeah.
It wasn't a block in the back.
Yeah.
It was a block out of bounds. So bring him back to 15 yards. So it'll be 2nd down and 9 now for Tech Boston. So basically wipe that play out. Bunch formation to the right for the Bears. Gillard going down the right side of the field. Wide open is Esau Jackson for the touchdown.
Oh, what kind of a breakdown was that? Looked like the only guy going over there was a safety. That's strange. Again, puts a lot of air under it. See, the safety's coming over. That's not his coverage. I don't know. Maybe the cornerback fell down. I think Smith's been over there most of the time.
Let's take another look at it.
Yeah. Can't really see, but
I think Jackson faked out Smith on that side.
Faked him out or just fell down or whatever. Because
there was a bunch formation with 4 receivers, so there was
maybe
probably
went to the wrong
confusion
one.
coverage.
Right. Yeah.
And Jackson was the beneficiary. So
big play here, though.
That's right.
Outside the game.
Down by 2. Bears trying to tie it on the 2-point conversion. It's Gillard looking for the pylon. Makes a move, gets in for Tech Boston, and we're tied up at 22 apiece.
Like that. I'll tell you, like that dip inside. Watch what happens. Watch the left of your screen, right of your screen, sorry. You see that dip inside is going to give him enough room, right there. That gives him enough room to slide out to the pylon. So, well, they answered your question, Pat. How's Tech Boston going to respond, right?
Not sure what.
Give him credit.
Gillard was having a conversation with the side judge over there. I'm not sure if the judge warned him about a celebration.
That's possible because the coaches
always say, whatever you're doing, stop it.
Walking one of his players off. Exactly.
.139 rushing yards now for Gillard. Foster is gang tackled. They can't bring him down. And now we got some extra shoving after the play.
A lot of emotion. Now we got a tie game in the 4th quarter. I mean, both teams have had a lot of momentum at different times. But you don't want your special teams to be getting penalties. So
now Foster coming off the field with a hand injury.
It looks like it was a big pile up, and he was at the bottom of it. Here's the pile. Here's the ball. Yeah, he was the first one down. It's ironic. We got a 22-22 score, Pat. It may come down to a defensive stop to actually win the game. You see, that's the enthusiasm. You have your kickoff team running down after your offense has just tied the game. 24-yard touchdown pass, and then the 2-point conversion by your running quarterback. All right, so Bryant, Brooks back into a quarterback.
From the 23-yard line, they hand it off to Ginty again. Curlin's fighting through some tackles, picked up a yard there on 1st down.
Like we always say, it makes it tough for the first guy Rogers actually 74 right there. Thought he had a chance to grab his arm. Gincha just said, no, thank you.
Like you mentioned
Kept
before,
it going.
Not a huge running back, but very difficult to bring
He's just
down.
so
Runs
active.
hard,
He's
yeah. Very tough runner.
His upper body especially just keeps it so active and tough to grab hold of. Ooh,
Brooks.
Wow.
Getting sacked in the backfield. Big number 32 for Tech Boston coming across and making the stop.
Came on a blitz. Who's that? Noel. Yeah.
Giovanni
We called Giovanni's name in the first half. He came on a blitz. Talk about guessing right defensively. Sort of a combination position. He's playing like a defensive ends linebacker type, because I think he's been standing up most of the game. That time, whatever he saw, he had the chance to rush.
3rd and 16 now for O'Brien, and that one falls incomplete.
And of course, the worst part about that is he had some running room.
That's right.
If the ball had gotten to him, he definitely had some running room. You can't see it, but the right side of his screen's open. Brooks a little too anxious, over anxious, I should say.
So Tigers going to have to punt here on 4th down. Just under 9 minutes left to go here in the 4th quarter. Montero again back to receive. Another knuckleball punt from Kaba, and Montero unable to field it cleanly. He's got to pick up the football. O'Brien might have recovered. Tech Boston might have wrestled it away.
I do think Tech Boston stole it away. Yep, they did.
The Bears did grab it. The Bears did grab it. They were 3 or 4 guys almost had a chance at that.
And that's the cardinal sin, because coaches always say, just jump on the ball.
Yeah, at this
point.
point.
Don't try to pick it up. Okay, one Tech Boston player. There's the O'Brien player. He just overran it. He overdove it.
You also taught, a lot of times players are taught, too, to come at the football from the side and kind of scoop it rather than what you saw right there. The O'Brien player jumped on it, and it squirts out like a jelly bean.
It's like the ball has eyes sometimes.
Yeah.
It says, nope, not you. But in the end, it turned out okay for the Bears, because they have their quarterback, Gallard, back on the field with the football.
So Tech Boston after the recovery. 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Gillard, again after going for the pass, tucking it in and run. Gillard in the open field. Fakes out another defender. Gillard down the sideline. He's going to go in for a touchdown. They might call that back.
No, he's going to get a taunting foul.
Yep.
Taunting penalty.
That
touchdown's good, but he's going to get a taunting penalty.
They called that back several years ago against Cathedral.
I remember that.
And it was a terrible call. This one, very obvious. He did taunt the defender. I don't know, especially with these new federation rules, I don't know if there's a change in how they're going to rule this. That's not a smart mistake, not a smart play from a sophomore quarterback who's been brilliant today.
I guess it might just depend on when or where it was called.
He taunted at the 10.
Yeah,
so they're going to give him the touchdown.
Touchdown should be good. And then the question is whether or not the penalty comes on the 2-point conversion. But you talk about a running quarterback. But big lesson, like you said, Pat. It's not a smart play. Sophomore, overly excited because he's now put his team in the lead with back-to-back touchdowns. Can't really say back-to-back drives. It wasn't much of a drive.
Personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct
taunting,
on the scoring team. O'Brien is elected to enforce the penalty on the try. 15 yards, we'll have 1 on time down for the try.
Yeah,
they do give him a 15-yarder for the 2-point conversion.
Well, actually, it was O'Brien's choice. Watch this play.
Yeah,
they totally broke down. This speed, quickness, and faking. Watch this last fake right there.
That was beautiful. He starts doing it right there. Then he taunts the player. Yep, you just can't do that. It's
I mean,
they just don't allow that.
You're right.
You can
It's
pump your
definitely
fist.
not allowed. Not allowed. Yeah,
But
that's
I
it.
think especially when he turned back to the defender and sort of waved.
And actually, the way in what you described, that we did that Cathedral game.
Yeah.
And he did put his arm up. It's a touchdown. That was called taunting. All of us thought it was totally wrong.
Everybody on the planet thought that went viral, and everybody was questioning that call. But the one
this
with
one's far
Gillard,
more obvious. When you're pointing at defenders and waving them off, and he might have said something too.
Sure.
So, yeah, O'Brien. See, O'Brien had the option. They could make the 15-yard penalty on this play, or they could take it on the kickoff. 68 yards. He's just sort of running that last play on Uzabor. That's the one that opened it up for him. And nobody else just has the speed to catch him.
It's another electrifying touchdown run from Gillard, and now because of the penalty, the Bears will try for the two-point conversion from the O'Brien 18-yard line.
Well, he's thrown those deep patterns to Montero. Now, Montero's cornerback is giving him like a 15-yard cushion. Now there's some questions from the Tech Boston sideline. They want to know something.
Gillard back
There's
to throw. He's got
the
that
throw.
fade ball over the right, and it's broken up. Very good coverage in the corner there from Smith.
Yeah.
Looking for Kadeem Dare.
So the penalty clearly hurts Tech Boston in terms of this two-point conversion try. So now back and forth, back and forth.
And once again, lead seesaw and Tech Boston on top. Our sideline reporter Seth Orensky's got an update. Seth?
Thanks, guys. What a momentum shift we've seen out of Tech Boston. At the end of the third quarter, right before their final drive, the team was not only tired physically, they were also tired mentally. A lot of bad body language. But head coach Raul Brown said, let's simplify it. A couple of runs gave them a little bit of confidence back. And obviously the play of Julius Gillard is playing with a little swagger right now, and that's helping his team as they've retaken the lead. Guys?
Thanks very much, Seth. So a 6-point lead for Tech Boston here with just under 6 minutes left to go here in the fourth. O'Brien having trouble fielding that awkward kick, and they are dropped at the 27-yard line.
Okay, 2 mistakes on one play. So you see, first player just not sure if he could catch the ball.
And Omi Grell able to recover.
Yeah, Malik Thomas failed to, he lost that one off his shoulder. Real bailed him out to keep possession. So like we were joking a few minutes ago, but it might turn out true. It's going to come down to it. Can Tech Boston make a defensive stop? Because if they can't, O'Brien will have the chance to get a touchdown and the 2-point conversion that could win the game.
First down from the 26-yard line of O'Brien. The handoff to Ginty. Curlins tries to bounce it to the outside, finds a little space, then is bumped out of bounds at the 32-yard line.
Again, Curlins, when you watch him, he just seems like a much bigger player than 160 pounds the way he plays. Lowers that shoulder. I think we're going to see one more screen pass to him to try to give him some open field.
It's going to be second down and 6 for O'Brien.
He's going forward. Yeah, that's going to be a procedure. Smith was in motion, but he definitely took off.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Smith just took off, a little over anxious. He was the player in motion, and went forward to the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped.
So that backs up the Tigers 5. It'll be 2nd down and 9 now for O'Brien.
Smith, number 3, he goes forward before the ball snapped. Look, just over-anxious because he may have been, you know, a key blocker downfield that get the ball to Jinsey.
First down, it's Jinsey again with the carry. Makes his way up to the 29.
Swarms on that one. Big. That's going to be a 3rd and long.
3rd and 7 coming up for the Tigers.
This Tech Boston defense looked like they were wearing down when O'Brien scored those 22 unanswered points, but now we get 14 unanswered points from Tech Boston.
Tech Boston calls a timeout just before the snap.
Sometimes a coach will see his defensive formation not in the right position.
And he can picture the other team breaking off a big play.
Yeah. This game, even with all the points we have so far, we got 50 points, but it's going to be a defensive play. Either a defensive play or a non-play, which allows a score.
Curlin's Jinsey, the playmaker that he is, he's got 86 yards on the ground, but it's on 21 carries, so it's been a very workman-like afternoon for Curlin's. So still kind of waiting for him to pop one here for the Tigers.
He had a 20-yarder, and even the 86, I mean, it's still 4 yards a carry.
That's right.
So,
it's a productive day, no question. We're just used to him, you know, 39-yard touchdown runs.
Oh, he did a job
27-yard screen
They played
passes.
Boston Latin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was unbelievable.
He was excellent in that game. So big play here for the Tigers, 3rd and 7 here with 4:36 left to go. If they don't get it on 3rd down, do you go for it? You got 4 minutes left. Gillard just ripped off another big-time run.
That's the reason why you go for it.
I think you got to go for it at that point.
You can't put the ball back in his hands. At least you don't want to.
Right. Well, first things first, 3rd and 7 now for the Tigers. Mentioned Jinsey averaging a little over 4 yards a carry. Julius Gilliard is averaging about 16 yards a carry this afternoon. 3rd and 7 now for the Tigers. Brooks back to throw. Now going to tuck it in and run. He's going to get there for the first down as he tiptoes out of bounds.
Got a flag on the play in the backfield.
That's going to be on the Tigers, I think.
Yeah, tough break. Once he broke containment, he clearly had the first down. So, well, they're leaving the ball. They're out of bounds.
We have a block in the back on the offense.
Oh,
it's a 10-yard penalty,
right.
Still 3rd down.
Let's see.
Block
The key for this is where's the spot of the foul, because it's going to be 10 yards from wherever the foul took place.
Now they're going to, so it's where the flag is right now.
Okay,
that is a huge penalty.
Yeah, that's a killer there.
Not sure if we can get another look at that, guys.
Wow, that's.
We've also got a player down for Tech Boston on the sideline.
See, that train's been running around all afternoon. She's getting her workout.
Can't quite see who that is. I think it might be Jaquan Joseph.
So, O'Brien, well, they got a pretty healthy bag of tricks. So it's not as if this is unmakeable. When you're talking about 3rd down, you get half of it, then you give yourself a chance on 4th down. Or, of course, you can just go deep downfield. I mean, Smith has been the deep receiver along with the big fella Foster.
Looks they run the reverse again to Smith. And this time Tech Boston snuffs it out. They tackle him at the 20-yard line, rather.
Yeah, it looked like O'Brien was expecting Tech Boston to be backing up for the long pass. Instead, they stayed close to the line of scrimmage, and like you said, that reverse to Smith just went nowhere. Oh, you got to punt this one.
Scoreboard reads just under 4 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. As Kane Kaba makes sure he's got 11 out on the field.
This is where the timeouts become really important because O'Brien took one. Not sure if so they should have at least 2 left.
Spiraling kick that'll bounce back towards the 45-yard line.
So now it's up to the O'Brien defense. Now we said about a few minutes ago we were saying it was up to the Tech Boston defense when they were behind 22-14. Now they put back-to-back touchdowns together. Now it's up to the O'Brien defense to get the ball back for their offense. It's almost like so unpredictable when you have a running quarterback like this. Well, an outstanding running quarterback, not just a running quarterback.
That's right.
An outstanding. This kid has, what, a 68-yarder and a 53-yarder.
It's not a bad afternoon.
So it's like when you put that together with all the other short runs, he has combined yards, total yards, he's at 300 yards for the game. Wow.
He has been something special tonight. Now with just under 4 minutes left to go, he's looking to lead his team to a win here on the road at O'Brien. Still got some work to do as they hand off up the middle to Dells, and Antoine picks up about 3 on the play.
Simple, safe handoff, 2 hands on the ball. I think O'Brien's going to wait and take a timeout after this play. There's just so much to be concerned about when you're O'Brien defense, and then ultimately the quarterback running. I mean, if everything else breaks down, he can always just take off himself. He actually went under center for the first time.
With a flag on the play, that might be illegal motion on Tech Boston.
That's interesting. The first time he goes under center. So it's more of a traditional offensive set, but like you said, the flag is going to be on Tech Boston.
No flag on the play.
Oh, no flag. They picked it up. Oh, okay. So 3rd down.
Just 1 yard pickup, so 3rd and 6 now for Tech Boston.
Oh, okay, they're giving them the time now. Should be 2, 4, 5. No, 2, 4, 4. Okay. So there's another 14 seconds left. 2:44.
We also got an O'Brien player down the field. We'll have to attend to his injury. Now he's back up. Number 56, Devin Rappa.
So 3rd and what's that? 3rd and 6. This might be the game for O'Brien. They got to get it stopped defensively. This shows you how deceiving out-of-conference games can be. Excuse me. You got to think that Georgetown team that beat this Tech Boston team 28-6. They're either very good or Tech Boston just had a really bad game or whatever, you know. Now you see the O'Brien offside because they were over anxious defensively.
Still 3rd down.
Now it's a very makeable 3rd and like 2. Yeah, we talked about that earlier about Tech Boston and how they had a rough start. Okay, they lost Georgetown on the road 26-8, and lost a tough one to Latin Academy 16-14. Second
now
man
on
through.
third and short.
Yep.
Did Dells get there? He just got there. That's going to be a first down for Tech Boston.
He got tripped up, but he was second man through, so most of the attention went to the ball fake. See, like you said, tripped up, put his hand down to keep his balance so he could get over the 40-yard line.
Clock winds down. The clock here at the stadium a little bit ahead of the clock being kept down on the field. So under 2 minutes left to go here on the scoreboard. Refs probably have it at about almost 2 minutes now. First down, the handoff up the middle again.
Okay, now O'Brien's going to take a timeout.
It's Jaquan Joseph for the carry.
They must have one left after this. 2 hands on the ball, good fundamentals. Gaining yards is not the issue, it's just killing time. Talked about Tech Boston. Okay, after this game, they play South Boston Burke, then English, Charlestown, and then on Thanksgiving they have Cathedral. All city games for the rest of the season for them. As for O'Brien, after this one they have East Boston, Randolph go out of the city, Brighton, and then they'll have Boston Latin Academy on Thanksgiving. So both teams, I mean, regardless of the outcome of this, both teams have a lot to look forward to. And with the playoff system, you win enough, then you'll be able to get yourself an extra game or more.
I don't believe we have either team left on our schedule for the rest of the regular season, but like you mentioned, could get either one of these teams in the playoffs later on. Especially depending on how this game turns out. Still some time left here. Second down and 10 for Tech Boston. As they pitch it over the right side to Dells. Antoine picks up a yard on first down.
Timeout by
O'Brien taking another timeout.
O'Brien. You see the pitch. I'm actually surprised they're even pitching the ball. I mean, those plays. Excuse me. The more you put the ball in the air, whether it's a lateral or screen, whatever,
bigger risk
taking
for
chances, right?
Bryant, faithful, still here, hoping their team can pull one out late in the fourth quarter.
This is the big play right here. This pretty much is it. They're out of timeouts. They've got to get a stop here. Well, actually, these next 2 plays, I'm sorry. Got to get a stop and get the ball back somehow. You know, in basketball, we all talk about game of runs, right? This is right. A game of runs here. 14-0, 22-14, now 28-22.
We have third down and 9 rather on our scoreboard. They have second down and 9 here on the field.
Should be third down.
Should be third down.
Surprised O'Brien's not. I think now O'Brien's questioning it because all the officials are all coming together. Yeah, the first play was in the middle. The second one was the pitch.
That's right.
Yeah, Kevin Gadsden's on the sideline with the 3 fingers up. Now, the head linesman's going to go figure it out.
Yep, they got it right. Third down now. So we'll be 3rd and 9 here for Tech Boston.
Biggest play of the game, no doubt.
You got to think Mr. Gillard will be the one who will try to make a play here as they fake the handoff. Of course, they're keying on Gillard. And coming up with a stop in the backfield for O'Brien is Sean Vassell. And the Bears are going to have to punt.
Quarterback draw, basically. So like you said, Vassell there to snuff it out. So they'll let the clock run down, and then they'll punt the ball.
So no timeouts left for O'Brien. The clock is going to wind down a little bit here before Tech Boston punts the football. And I think Tech Boston just called the timeout.
I mean, either way would have been fine. They either could call a timeout or they could get called for five
Take
yards.
a 5-yard penalty,
Right.
kick from the midfield.
Well, 40 seconds. You talk about arm strength from your quarterback. Talk about the receivers. So let's not forget these receivers play both ways. So you talk about fly patterns. The biggest problem is no timeouts. That's the biggest problem. I mean, the one thing in their favor is the clock does stop on a made first down. So the guys got to be active, run up to the line of scrimmage to get as many plays in as possible in this last 40 seconds.
You also wonder when O'Brien gets the ball back. I would think they would put Brooks in there, but Maffeo's probably got a little bit better arm.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I'm wondering, what is
How
it?
are they going to approach this?
And, Maffeo's a decent receiver.
Right.
We saw him get the touchdown today. So, you're right. I mean, that's it can start out as being an advantage having the two quarterbacks. And so now you just got to figure out it sort of depends on what their practice plays are. Every team obviously practices, long yardage plays. And whatever they are for O'Brien after this punt, we'll see each one of them. That's not their regular punter, so now that's forced O'Brien to come up and play defense.
That's Gillard who just got that punt off, end over end kick that bounces, stays in bounds, and then just curls in front of the goal line.
That's a bizarre situation.
That is probably the worst.
It is.
Possible
and
outcome other than a turnover.
It cost you
O'Brien.
10 seconds, and you couldn't get a return.
Well,
think about the coaches, Pat. Okay, they put Gillard back there as the punter to make O'Brien come up and respect the fact that he might fake it, which allowed him. He actually kicked a good ball, and they have the ball just curl, like you said. They're saying it bounced out of bounds? They must be saying it bounced out of bounds.
They bounced out of bounds at the 14. You actually saw Jaden Smith pointing to where it bounced out of bounds.
So it is going to be Maffeo. Right. And they have Brooks now as one of the slot receivers. So how far back are these safeties going to go for Tech Boston?
Everybody playing up right now.
Oh, this is... The coaches have got to tell them to come back. Yeah. The coaches waved him back.
Trips to the bottom of your screen. It's Maffeo over the middle, and that one too high for Jaden Smith.
But that's the play you want, because even though it's in the middle of the field, if he caught that, he was beyond the first down, which would have stopped the clock. A little too much on that one. All right, you tried Smith once. You still have Dare. You also a couple of speeches out there actually.
2nd down and 10 now for the Tigers. Maffeo throws it over the right side, looking for Brooks, and that one falls incomplete.
Yeah, see that. His momentum when he was running away from the pressure, that actually gave him much too much on the throw. So he can get some backside pressure. He's running now because his body is in full motion. That just forced him to overthrow it.
The thing is, that type of throw right there, Michael Brooks can throw that. He can roll out of the pocket and throw that.
Good point.
Whereas Maffeo is much better inside the pocket. So you wonder, do the Tigers try to shake it up?
Well, no,
they're not getting the protection.
I guess Brooks can get downfield better, which that's the only thing I can think of why he'd be the receiver.
Maffeo over to Ginty. Curlins met at the 9-yard line. Very good pursuit that time from Tech Boston. That's Kadeem Dare getting in there for the tackle.
Okay, it's 4th down. Clock's running out. They have no timeouts left. This is going to run out. Yeah. That's it. So, bizarre way to end the game, but the last run, what are you going to say? The last run was by Tech Boston?
We saw earlier that the referees had a different time out on the field, but then as soon as the time on the scoreboard went out, they ended the game. So I think that's what Coach Gadsden's saying right now to the referees. Is that clock accurate?
It's accurate because it's over.
So the game is over here at O'Brien. The Tech Boston Bears come from behind here in the 4th quarter to defeat O'Brien 28-22.
Fun game.
And outstanding games. Lead seesawed. You know, Tech Boston started off great, 14 straight points, and then O'Brien had that big play from Jaden Smith in the 2nd quarter, got it close into 6 points, and then O'Brien down by 6, comes out in the 3rd quarter. Methodical drive down the field. Then they go up after scoring 2 touchdowns in a row, and then Tech Boston comes right back.
You get the feel that when they went up with those 2 touchdowns that they had control of the game. It's more like O'Brien-type football, but you got to give a lot of credit to that side, the coaches on the sideline of Tech Boston, because Seth made the point during that 3rd quarter, the end of the 3rd quarter, that he was watching the body language on the Tech Boston side. Get some tired players. They were, had their heads down a bit, but to their credit, mainly because they have that sophomore quarterback who can make such amazing plays, their confidence in him helped, energize them. They played good offense, good defense, and come away with a win.
Very impressive win on the road here tonight for Tech Boston. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have our Game of the Week MVP and our final stats here from O'Brien High right after these words. Don't go away.
Foster safety. Foster hope. Foster joy. Foster curiosity. Foster support. Become a foster parent, because every parent makes a difference. Foster, Massachusetts.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck.
So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
First time I tried Vicodin, it was laying around my mom's house. And then I kept taking them whenever I could get them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
So there you are, Shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it. First impression. My way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Do you want to retire like a champ? Just like legendary basketball star Uncle Drew?
Don't do it like that, Uncle Drew!
You're already acing the game. You've got your dream ride.
Don't be slamming my door.
Sorry about that.
You just did the same. Gotta get the boys.
Your dream vacation and your dream team. And now you can make your retirement just as legendary.
I get buckets.
Get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Queen is just my everything.
His smile did it. His smile, his eyes, his knowledge. My landlord, he decided that he wanted me to move based on the fact that I was transgender. Let's just respect people in everyday life for just being human.
No doubt you're going places, young lady.
Thank you. And thank you for the interview as well. I can imagine it was the last thing that you wanted to do after such a long campaign meeting.
You really are a very intelligent young woman. You're very smooth.
You're very smooth yourself.
You have no idea.
Why is my son having trouble in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No. He's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 wonders of the world.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
We can warn someone when their drink isn't safe.
And disrupt the situation.
We can.
Get someone the cab.
Or walk them home safely.
We can make campuses safer for our friends.
Our roommates.
Our classmates. Our fellow human beings.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can.
Intervene.
It's on us.
All of us.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education? What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts? Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself? What are you gonna make of me?
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
Welcome back to O'Brien High School. At the conclusion of Game of the Week, the Tech Boston Bears hold on to beat the O'Brien Tigers 28-22. Very impressive come-from-behind win here for Tech Boston on the road tonight, and certainly there's no doubt as to who the MVP is going to be tonight. What an impressive debut on Game of the Week for Julius Gillard.
Talk about impressive. More than that, because the numbers are. Wait till you see the numbers.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to see.
Let's talk to him first, though.
No question. Julius is down on the field with our sideline reporter Seth Orensky. Also, Coach Brown is down there. So, Seth, take it away.
Joined by Julius Gillard and Raul Brown. Julius, let's start with the biggest play of the game, your game-winning touchdown run. Kind of what was going through your mind during that close to 70-yard scamper?
I knew I had to score. I wanted to win. That's what it is. It's just what it was.
You guys dominated the first quarter, and then the second and third went their way. And then late in the fourth quarter, Coach just tried to simplify things by putting the ball in some of your running backs' hands and in your hands. How much did that help kind of open up for that touchdown pass to Esau where you guys were able to tie the game and then your game-winning touchdown run?
I challenged them. I said they wasn't good, and they proved me wrong. And they won that game. That's what they did.
With each week, it seems like your numbers are getting a little bit bigger and maybe your confidence is as well. How comfortable do you feel at this point as the quarterback of this team?
I feel pretty good, but the job's never done, so got to keep going.
Finally, talked to halftime to our play-by-play guy. He kind of pushed the Kyler Murray comparison on you. Who do you kind of look up to and emulate in terms of your quarterback style?
Shit. I just play it. I just do it.
There's only one Julius Gillard?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I look forward to seeing how Julius Gillard continues. We'll bring in Coach. Coach, he certainly has his own style, some ups, some downs, but how big was he today, especially when your team kind of needed a jump start late in the third quarter?
Well, good players, you can't coach good. If a kid's good, he's good, and this kid's good, and he's only in 10th grade. So, yeah, I didn't have to coach that. You can't coach that.
Another guy who seems to be pretty good and had a lot of big plays is Esau Jackson, who played a little quarterback for you last year in his natural position this year and had that big game-tying touchdown and a couple of big plays on special teams.
Yeah, so Esau's another kid who, stepped up to play quarterback last year when he really didn't want to. And I think that's what good teammates and good football players do. They do the job they're asked to do. And Esau is a total football player. He started from Pop Warner. He's an excellent leader for us. Can't ask anything more of him.
Started 0-2, back to 2-2, back-to-back really close victories where you outplayed the other team in the fourth quarter. How happy are you with how your team has progressed the last 2 weeks?
Well, I feel like every week we're getting better. I still think we make way too many mistakes. It drives me up a wall. I'm losing my voice up because of it. But the thing is, we set up those games, those hard games early for them to get tested. It's just the way the bottom half of the season, they should be getting better, they should be getting stronger, and it should be advantage Tech Boston,
Finally, the headmaster share, that's going to stay at Tech Boston. What does that mean?
Listen, anything we get to keep at the school, we're very happy about. So I'm really happy that chair stays home.
Coach, congratulations on the victory. Good luck going forward. Guys, take it away.
Seth, thanks very much, and certainly a very happy Coach Brown. And like you mentioned, can't really teach that kind of speed, so he admits it.
That's the one thing that's true about football, all sports, but mainly football. If you get a kid like a guy who can has a speed, first of all, quickness, and then just has the running natural sense of moving away from defenders.
Right.
Planting his foot, cut. The last cut on that 68-yard touchdown run was just amazing. That's the stuff that you see seniors making, see college players making.
That's right.
But there's just natural ability. It's like Coach Brown said. Okay, Pop Warner, and then from that, you bring it up to high school. So they have a very, very bright future.
No question. Let's take a look at the final stats from this game. And first up, it's going to be the O'Brien Tigers, who put up some good numbers despite the loss.
They did. Well, they put up 22 points. I mean, Keachie had 86 yards, had 21 carries, had a touchdown. Smith, 55 yards and a touchdown. Receiving, 42 yards on 3 catches by Fisher. Maffeo, jockeying back and forth from quarterback to wide receiver, had a 20-yard catch for a big first down. Brooks overall 6 for 8 for 69 yards. So today they were forced to do something different because Brooks got hurt early in the game, was out for a few plays. Then when he came back, he mainly was playing a lot of wide receiver and quarterback. Tech Boston was just much different. Obviously Gillard with that amazing game from playing the shotgun, getting room to run, ended up with 206 yards rushing, 14 carries, 2 touchdowns. Dells, also a contributor, 11 carries, 31 yards. Receiving, Dare had a touchdown, 3 catches for 52 yards, and Montero had 2 for 35, but he had a couple of others that he had his man beat.
That's right.
The ball was just overthrown. Overall, Gillard ended up with 8 for 14, 94 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So you're talking about a sophomore quarterback, ran for 2 touchdowns, threw for 2 touchdowns, brought his team back after they were down in the fourth quarter. So we're talking about a bright future. I mean, forget junior and senior year. Let's talk about the rest of the season.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean,
it'd be nice if we could see him in the playoffs, maybe.
Coach Brown lost his voice yelling about the mistakes, but he knows. He's smiling all the way back to the bus.
That's right.
Because he has some serious weapons.
That's right.
This Boston City League has to try to figure out how to stop him. Bryant went through stretches where they were able to slow him down, but they just never could stop him.
That's right. It's certainly a fun player to watch here in the City League. Folks, you want to watch this game again and see Julius Gillard and all these other players who had great games tonight, you can certainly go to our website, www.cityofboston.gov/game of the week. All the games from this season should be up there. We also, you can also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Boston, Game of the Week Boston. A lot of good stuff up on our Facebook page. Make sure you like us there. And you can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. We'll be at Boston English next week at 6 o'clock when they host Charlestown. But for right now, we're going to say so long from O'Brien High here in Roxbury. We'll see you next time on Game of the Week. Take care, everybody.